welcome to Global Morning.
From flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring you policies too, for sure. If you don't think we have some more stories,
the legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
When you call the police station, before they even leave, they take permission from the
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
The struggle, the ASU strike.
Education volunteer that said, give me 2 weeks.
It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
Good morning there and welcome to Global Morning. Today is a beautiful day. I hope you're well rested. Lots and lots of conversation packed up for you this morning on the show. Something interesting I want to talk about today. Artificial intelligence. What have you heard about artificial intelligence? Of course, you know that it is not a thing of the past. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. It is in your school, it is in the hospitals, it is in the banks, in your phones. You're using it already. What have you heard about it? Do you think it's going to take your job? Are you preparing for the days ahead? What is your take about artificial intelligence? Before we delve into that conversation, we have the newspaper review lined up for discourse this morning on the show. We will take a quick break right now. When we come back, we go straight to the newspaper review, and after that, we come back to the conversation today, artificial intelligence. Please do not go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Global Morning, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, on Global Television. I am your host, Priscilla Obasi, and right about now it is time for the newspaper review. What is happening? What is happening in Nigeria? Let's dive in. We start the newspaper review this morning with the Punch newspaper. What is it? What do we have on the Punch newspaper? We have on page 3 here, defection. PDP moves to flush out disloyal members. Interesting. PDP moves to flush out disloyal members. I wonder the strategy. I wonder how they want to do that. But I mean, everything is possible in politics. And then on page 3 here, it says experts warn as states, local governments, banks debt hit 4 trillion naira. That you find on page 3 of the Punch newspaper. The next story here says Anambra Osun polls anxieties in APC as Soludo Adeleke court Tinubu. Interesting. And there's a writer there that says President's political moves worrisome, says Osun chieftain. Another writer here says Anambra party leaders deny Soludo's endorsement by Tinubu. There's a big story here. The Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike Kon, and the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Maria Muhammad, on behalf of all residents of the FCT, welcomes His Excellency President Bola Tinubu to the commissioning of key renewed hope projects executed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) in commemoration of the second anniversary of the present administration. The 17-day commissioning of projects from June 10 to July 3rd, 2023. That is coming from the FCTA, Mr. Project, as he calls himself, Nyesom Wike. He is doing great, with projects in Abuja, and this is, an announcement for commissioning of projects. That you will find on the Punch newspaper. To see more details, grab a copy of the Punch newspaper so you know what's happening in the country today. So we go next to the next paper there. That is the Guardian. The Guardian. Okay, the first story here says, aftermath of Mokwa tragedy. Policy shifts climate risk assessment as strategies to tame flooding. If you are aware of the Mokwa flooding tragedy, it has been, it is a sad incident there in Niger State. The next story here says, towards a resilient future, OAU's council management align strategies for institutional advancement. You will find that on the page 14 of the Guardian newspaper today. The next story, the big story here on page 2 says, Tinubu urges prayers for troops, tasks Nigerians on unity, sacrifice. You find that on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's go to the next story there. It says, why civil service must be transformed into elective machinery of running government by Adegoroye. You find that on page 36 of the Guardian newspaper. And then the next story on page 2 says, can felicitate Muslims seeks prayers for Mokwa flood victims. That is still on the story, the flood story in Mokwa, Niger State. The next story on page 3 says, PDP urges national reflection, calls on APC to end waste and deceit. On page 3 of the Guardian newspaper, you see that story. The next story, page 35, says, Uwais was a phenomenal jurist, statesman. Tinubu mourns. Oh, that is on the page 35 of the Guardian newspaper. If you want to dive into more of the stories, grab a copy of the Guardian newspaper this morning, and you'll find more stories. So you know what is happening in the world. In Nigeria, I beg your pardon. And let's go to the This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper. So we'll start with the story here on page 5. Says, the world gathers for Ojude Oba as Glo celebrates 20 years of powering tradition. There's a writer that says, that you'll find on page 5 of This Day newspaper. On page 5, also you see permutations on 2027 heat up race for Governor Abdul Razak seat as NGF chairman. Page 5 of This Day newspaper, you get to see that story there. And then we have still a big a story here, a picture, still calling for the commissioning of roads and projects by Mr. Project, Barrister Nyesom Wike. The Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezewo Nyesom Wike Kon, and the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Maria Mohammed, on behalf of all residents of the FCT, welcomes His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, to the commissioning of projects. You will find that on This Day newspaper if you want to have more of this read. Now let's go to the next paper today. The next paper is the Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard newspaper. It says, why I defected to APC. Why I defected to APC. That is on page 6, 2027 polls about Nigeria, not politicians. PDP reacts. You will find that on the Guardian, the Vanguard newspaper, beg your pardon. The Vanguard newspaper. Police soldiers among 160 killed in Benue in 1 month. That you will find on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Makinde proposes 6 single tenure for political offices. That you will find on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then on page 10, how local Malams resist reforms of Almajiri schools in northern Nigeria. You'll find that on page 10 of the Vanguard this morning. Dangote names refinery road after Tinubu. You'll find that on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Right about now, let's just go for a quick break. When we return, we'll still continue with a newspaper review on Global Morning this morning. Please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
Welcome back. If you are still watching, this is Global Morning, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, on Global Television. So we continue with the newspaper review. We are currently on the newspaper review segment, and we're taking you through the stories of what is happening in the country. So we are on the Vanguard newspaper, and it says here on page 3, LP senators shrink as Imaswan defects to APC. LP senators shrink as Imaswan defects to APC. It is an interesting time ahead for Nigerians in the political space because of the whole drama happening with our political parties. On page 13, it says, "Why I stopped going to Rivers." That is coming from Amici, the former Rivers State governor. Why I stopped going to Rivers State. Well, you can find out why he stopped going to Rivers State by grabbing a copy of the Vanguard papers this morning, and you'll see more details about that. And then let's go to page 4 of the paper this morning, Vanguard paper. Family reveals cause of Gwangwangwangwa's legend's death. That was a story that circulated the internet yesterday. The legend singer of the Gwangwangwangwa song passed on yesterday, and the family trying to reveal the cause of his death. He was put on the spotlight in the last years of his life, or last months, I call it weeks or months, of his life, and all thanks to Brain Jotta. And then we go to food insecurity may worsen farmers' water meets flood alerts in 33 states. 33 states? That's massive. That you will find on page 7 of the Vanguard. Jonathan orders pile pressure on Tinubu to reinstate Fubara. Jonathan orders pile pressure on Tinubu to reinstate Fubara. Let's see how that plays out. You find more details about that story on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. I wonder what's happening, in Rivers State with the whole drama. Let's go to okay, there's a big story here still announcing the commissioning of projects in the FCT that's coming from FCTA. That is all on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Like I said, you want to find out more details about the stories, the highlights of the stories, grab yourself a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. Now let's go to the next paper, the Tribune paper. On page 2 here it says, "Civil War most difficult moment of my life." That is coming from Gowon. Civil War, most difficult moment of his life. You want to find out more about that? Grab yourself a copy of the Tribune papers this morning and you will see more of that. Let's go to page 6 here that says, "Mokwa flood incident unfortunate, ordained by Allah," says IBB. Wow, ordained by Allah. I don't know what to say about that. Zulum Shehu of Brunei warns of another flood disaster. I mean, this is funny to me though. I don't understand how God would ordain flood. I think it's more of our lack of taking proactive steps to prevent all of these natural disasters. I just hope and pray that this doesn't happen again, because we have all the time right now to act to prevent the reoccurrence of this flooding incident that keeps taking lives and properties. Well, may the souls of the departed rest in perfect peace, and we pray for everyone going through a difficult time in Mokwa at this moment, that God be with you. Let's go to the page 4 of the Tribune paper this morning. Hotel gives up in flames in Makkah 72 hours after 484 Nigerians pilgrims left. Hotel gives up flames in Makkah 72 hours after 484 Nigerians pilgrim left. Well, that is a testimony right there. We thank God that it wasn't, worse than they were not caught up in the whole incident. The big story here, or the big announcement, still on the commissioning of projects from Mr. Project himself, Nyesom Wike. That you will find on the Tribune paper this morning. You want to find out more about the details of every headline we have brought to you on the morning this morning. Grab yourself a copy of the Tribune paper. Now let's go to Punch Sports Extra. Let's punch. It's punchy on sports this morning on Sports Extra. The first story on page 6. Al Hilal schedule Osimhen's medical. Al Hilal schedule Osimhen's medical. There is a story, about Osimhen. Osimhen has been on the news in recent times. I feel like it's a season. Yes, it's time to shine. Okoye admits Nwabali rivalry. That is coming on page 7 of Punch Sports Extra this morning. The next story is Troost Ekong marks 10 years with Eagles. Troost Ekong marks 10 years with Eagles. That is on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. On page 7 still, we have Ndidi gives Abade a new car. Congratulations to him. Ndidi gives Ubade a new car. We can also find on page 5, City confident of signing Cherokee. City confident of signing Cherokee. We wish him all the best in his career, his football career. Still on the Sports Punch Extra, we have on page 3, Ronaldo rules out Yamal for Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo rules out Yamal for Ballon d'Or. That you'll find on page 3 of the Punch Sports Extra. And on page 4 it says Arsenal set to sign Kepa for £5 million. Arsenal set to sign Kepa for £5 million. You will find that on page 4. You want to get more of that story, grab yourself a copy of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. The next story here says Liverpool slams €70 million tag on Diaz. Liverpool slams €70 million tag on Diaz. That you will find on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra. On page 2 here it says Rivers Hoopers lose ball opener. Rivers Hoopers lose ball opener. You find that on page 2 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. On page 2 again it says here cricket. Salome shines as Nigeria hits Cameroon by 104 runs. That is a massive one for Nigeria on the cricket games this today. Salome shines as Nigeria hits Cameroon by 104 points. Interesting. And then a big story here, American Dream. 22 Nigerian student athletes storm in NCAA championship finals. Congratulations to Nigeria. 22 Nigerian student athletes storm in NCAA championship final. That is a big one for us. There is a story there on page 2 that says golf beats Sabalenka to French Open titles. For all the sports lovers this morning, grab yourself a copy of the Punch Sport Extra to find or to read more about these interesting headlines that have come to you this morning on Global TV. Right about now, we come to the end of the newspaper segment. We will dive into the real conversation for today, that is talking about artificial intelligence. We have a guest, an interesting guest. He's a tech expert. Just after this break, he will be coming to us to tell us more and more about artificial intelligence. Do you think AI is coming for your job? You will find out more about that just after the break. Please don't go anywhere. Global Morning returns shortly.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, welcome back to Global Morning. We're diving into an interesting conversation right about now. We're talking about a topic that is shaking up the global workspace and sparking up a big conversation. Is AI coming for my job? Is artificial intelligence going to replace humans eventually? Well, I have a guest this morning. He is a tech enthusiast. He will answer some of those questions, some of the questions in your heart and my heart too, of course. Joining us this morning from the United Kingdom is Mr. Joseph Ate Ayodeji. Welcome on the show, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you for joining us on Global Morning this morning. So, well, it is no news that a lot of, people, humans are, anxious, worried, and some, of course, excited about the development of artificial intelligence. Some persons are, meeting up with the demand. Some people are deciding to study about it and working with it and upgrading themselves in every other way, while others, they have not been able to meet up with this new technology, are being worried. What will happen to me when there is when companies are downsizing? They get worried. Will they take my job? What will happen to what will happen in the workspace in the nearest future? And that is why we have you joining us in this conversation to answer some of these worries and our questions. We have a lot of questions this morning lined up for the conversation, but let me start with this one. For the average person, what exactly is artificial intelligence, and how is it already part of our daily lives? Over to you, Mr. Deji.
Okay, so when we talk about AI, we're just basically talking about machines that are designed to think and learn, then act like humans. For example, they can make decisions, they can solve problems, they can recognize speech. Like, it's already part of our daily life. The basic example I can give, like when you activate your WhatsApp business, you are given the liberty to set up auto replies on your WhatsApp business. There was even a time Nigerians were complaining on Twitter that small thing, you send message to someone, the next thing you see, thank you for texting, we're not here right now. That's AI. We have, you notice when you click on some links on Instagram, YouTube, you just constantly start seeing similar posts. Automatically, the algorithms, those are AI. Then we have spam filters in emails. For example, I filter my email out for spams, and a lot, even your camera filters, your Snapchat filters, and basically AI learns from humans. That's one thing I actually want to hammer on this conversation. So that's why it's called artificial, like an artificial brain. So to an average person, if you see AI as something that's learning from you, something that you have to prompt, you have to tell it what to do, you have to load it with some data sets. In fact, when designing an AI tool, there are data sets you have to input into it. For example, if I'm working with an AI to predict or diagnose people cancer in hospital, for example, when I'm loading data of cancer patients data sets, when I load it into the AI I'm designing, I have to break it into two. The one I load and the one I use to train the data. So the one I use to train the data is the one I use to extract. Just to be sure, the one I use to be sure that the AI is working. So I just want, what I'm saying is because I want to hammer on the fact that AI learns from us. So the more people use it, the more it learns and retains data memory and is able to bring out similar responses to someone who just searched yesterday.
Okay, let me need to cut you there. Thank you very much for that. So are you saying categorically that there's no reason, there's no need to be scared of AI for the portion of the part of those that are scared that AI is coming for their jobs? Are you saying that there is no need to be scared whatsoever?
So basically, I have this conversation with my friends, my classmates and the rest, and we have come to a conclusion that AI is dumb.
Wow, that's a big statement there.
Yeah, we've come to a conclusion that AI is dumb. Why? Because AI cannot do anything on its own, and AI is a reflection of your intelligence. Okay, like if you cannot give the right, there's even something called prompt engineering now. People go to school to study how to prompt AI to give them what they want. So I feel like you do not really have to be scared of AI. Rather, you should embrace it. You should respect it. Like the way you respect and embrace the internet. The way you use electricity, when they bring light, you're shouting, oh, up NEPA. Yeah, but it now depends on how you use it. If you don't know what you want to ask, AI cannot give you anything. It will give you what it feels is okay for you. For example, I write codes and someone else does not really know what Java is, not talk of Python. Then you just prompt ChatGPT to give you, he writes me Python code for a banking system that can do this, that can do that. It loads you a series of codes, then you just copy. You don't even know where you're going to paste it. You don't know if you're using VS Code, you don't know if you're using PyCharm, or you don't even know where to put it. So it's only what you know that AI can help you with. It's not here to take our jobs. AI is here to help our jobs better, like with precision. Plus AI doesn't even have empathy. For example, content creators, writers, and the rest, I think they are the ones really scared that AI takes it.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly writers, because I've seen a lot of them coming to, talk against AI, ChatGPT. Sometimes, they put up this post and say, compare your original write-up to what AI gives to you. I feel like there's a subtle campaign going on, with the Writers Association. They are trying to debunk the whole AI thing. Well, I feel like AI has actually helped. And I think that some of these professionals, you're speaking as a professional now, when it comes to AI taking one's job, as a professional, knowing what you can do with AI, I don't think it will. For those that don't know how to use AI, for example, now you're working in an office with someone that knows how to use artificial intelligence, and someone is there trying to use his brain, his energy to do things on his own. I think that person with an added advantage, or would have an added advantage rather, over the other person that does not know how to use AI. So when you say AI will not take your job, I feel like you're speaking to those that know how to use AI, not those that do not know how to use AI.
Yeah, that's why I said, if you do not know what you are doing, AI cannot help you. So rather than being scared of getting scared that AI will take your job, why not upskill? Like, it just makes your work easy, and it also gives your work. Even now, let's talk about this as a writer. When you write with AI might not give you the emotions you need.
Yeah.
The empathy and the rest. So it's not like they are disappearing. It's not like those jobs are disappearing. The jobs are just evolving. Like the originality still matters. So why are you scared that AI will take your job when all you can do is just learn how to use the AI? How did you learn how to write? The same thing, learn how to use the AI just to help your job. So that's why I really do not share the sentiment that AI is coming to take anybody's job. Of course, it will take the jobs of those that are not ready to upskill or learn how to use the AI. It will definitely take your job. In fact, it will not take your job. The people that know how to use the AI will take your job.
Exactly. No. Okay.
The people that know how to use the AI are the ones that will take your job. It's
not the AI itself. Okay, that's very profound there. But at the same time too, I kind of feel like those campaigning that AI will take people's job, they are largely from this part of the world, Nigeria. I don't think I've heard these statements, amongst people from international communities and abroad and all of that. Most times they are Nigerians, trying to shade other people. For example, the writers now that are coming to say, that is not AI taking job. When I say that, I mean there are some people that are clamoring, okay, AI is not good, AI cannot give you originality, AI cannot do this, AI cannot do that. They're just pushing the narrative that AI is dumb, just like you said. Well, I know the perspective you're coming from. You're coming from the perspective that makes one feel like you can still take charge. But some people are pushing a negative narrative to water down AI to make it look like without them. Do you understand? AI cannot work. AI is useless. AI does not. AI is sick. Do you get? So they just push this narrative so that they feel like they are still the owners of the business, the market. Not the market. The business not going anywhere without them. What do you think about that?
So, like, I feel like their fear is valid.
Okay.
And the fear is rooted in job loss and uncertainty. You get? So, like me, I'd rather say AI probably would do human jobs faster and maybe cheaper, but more of routine jobs are the ones at risk. For example, I'm trying to really get basic examples, I don't want to start using like terms that some people might not understand. But like I said, everybody just have to upskill. Like, just get to that point where whatever AI comes out, just the way, okay, now, in 2000 and maybe before 2006, I don't know when I had my first phone, my first mobile phone, like, but when mobile phone came, it was so, I don't know how to put it, like, it was exciting that I had a phone and the rest. So the same way, like, kids that are giving birth to now, they do not know what we went through before we got the phone.
Yeah.
So now phone is normal to them because they just feel, phone has always existed.
Yeah.
Because it has actually always existed all their lives.
Yes.
Because they came just when phone is everywhere. So that's how I see AI in the nearest future. We get to that point where every part of our lives will be revolved around AI. So it is not anything to fear. It is just what everybody have to embrace. In fact, those people that think they don't like AI, they use AI.
Actually, they use it better, but they want to discourage others, so they don't get to use it, and so they don't take their jobs.
They don't take their jobs. But like I said, AI is not taking any job, but it's a job. The people that know how to use AI are the ones taking your jobs. Although there are some parts where you see AI could probably take some, maybe like automatic cars driving itself, self-driving cars,
robots,
and robots, yes, like transports, customer care chatbots, and some manufacturing. Even in manufacturing industries, people still have to prompt the AI. So it might just be, AI might just come in some ways where the number of employees in a particular, now I'm going deeper into, let's say, robotics and the rest, some particular jobs, like the number of employees, the workforce might probably reduce because now AI can do more repetitive jobs and tasks. I even just believe that industry repetitive tasks are the most vulnerable to AI and the impact on jobs. So it gets to that point. But at this plain level where we're talking about the creative industry, people writing cinema, so I use AI to come up with scripts. I do videos. I use AI to come up with video scripts. I use AI to give me suggestions on the kind of short angles, short lists. Like I use AI a lot. In fact, I talk to my AI
like your brother.
Sometimes when I prompt my AI phone, I think I was writing a code. I did an assessment recently on a banking system, and it gave me something. Then I asked, "What about this?" The guy was like, "Oh wow, I don't know how I omitted that." So imagine if I didn't know that there's something important, but I went through the codes and I saw it, and I was like, "No, you have to do this." There's a way you interact with your AI that even the AI it learns from you every day when you have conversations with it. So yeah, basically.
I get your point. At the same time, though, I think their fears are valid. For example, you did not go to the university to study how to write. you are able to use AI to write scripts. There are people that spent 4 years of their life learning how to write scripts, how to get the best, those that do public relations and all of that. Now, you can just, someone that is not, an expert in that field can just take AI and get publications, get AI to write scripts for them. They didn't need to go spend so much time in the university, doing all of that. So for those that spent a major part of their life learning these things, and right now it's just everywhere, I think they will be pained, Sorry to use that word. If you're watching me right now and you fall in this category, but I understand their sentiments and I understand the pain. But what advice, now I want you to look at it from their perspective, what advice would you give to such individuals now? You get that probably spent their whole lives learning how to write, studying and all of that in the university. What would you say to them at this point?
So, I think I've said it before at the beginning that in fact every course that I went to university to study, I've been, no matter, even if you're a writer, if you're a photographer, there are AIs that edit pictures now, you probably learned for 2 years. Any task, any job at the moment, if you do not upskill yourself or work on yourself to be able to use relevant AI tools in that field, you probably will lose the job. So now this is it. You went to school to study for 5 years and you are pained that there's I think you're supposed to be happy that something is coming to make your work easier. Because the time you were used to write, let's say you're an editor or you're a writer and you have like 50 clients to write content for in like, let's say, a week. Do you think you want to write all those things from your head and not be exhausted? Do you know you can roll out 50 scripts in a day using your AI? So I think you should embrace it and even earn more because all these generative AI are there to help you. So like I understand that you're feeling like, all these things that I went to school to study, and someone would just, this guy is
the Babylon mentality of Nigerians, and put it that way.
Why not just embrace the AI, use it so well, like use it so well that people will start asking you, how do you do? Like, I can be so funny how sometimes I don't really use AI. I don't use AI to edit my videos. I edit my videos myself. But I already use AI to have a short list I want. When I go, maybe I step out and I come. My friend was asking me yesterday, how you edit so you just did. Yesterday I went to my school, I recorded some videos. I got some money from an organization that they gave me money. I just wanted to record a thank you video, and by 7:50 p.m. the video was out.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, so you just need to, I feel like everybody should use AI to get more productivity, and productivity means you can roll out more jobs, you can complete more tasks faster and with more efficiency instead of feeling like, this guy is taking my job.
All right.
Like I said, if you don't work on yourself, it's the person that knows how to use it. I'll take your job, not necessarily the AI.
The person that knows how to use AI will take your job, not AI itself. Thank you very much for staying with us till this time. It's been an interesting conversation. I have lots and lots of questions to ask though, but I think we'll have to reschedule to have another session where we'll expatiate, elaborate, and talk about more of artificial intelligence. I know that a lot of people have a lot on their mind to still ask in this topic of artificial intelligence. But at this point, we draw the curtains on Global Morning. This morning, it has been a pack full of, information, enlightenment. I have been enlightened. I hope you have been too. Thank you very much for staying with us thus far. Until we come your way again, please stay, watch Global TV. Be with us. You understand? There are lots and lots of activities and interesting programs coming to you today on Global Television. For now, it's bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome to Global Morning.
Let's do some flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies to For sure. If you don't think we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rate as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
When you call the police station, before they even leave, they take permission from
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
the struggle with the ASU strike.
Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks.
It was a life. The president never gave